Sicilians, welcome back to another video. In this one, I'm going to be doing a story time on how I broke my left wrist. As you'll know if you watched my Vlogmas video, one of my Christmas presents was that I was going to go skiing at Canyon with my brother and my cousins. Canyon is the hill just outside of Red Deer where my family lives. And my parents had bought a coupon for that day of skiing. They had like a deal at Costco, and our lift tickets, our passes, everything all together would be cheaper using that coupon. But on the day of us going skiing, on Boxing Day, we forgot that coupon. It was in my dad's wallet, and my dad didn't come with us to the hill, just me, my brother, and my mom. So we didn't use the coupon. We just paid full price and said that we'd come back later to use up the coupon. It expired on March 15th, so we had time before then to go back and ski. So skiing never came up in January or February, but it finally did in March. Now, the roads had some insane snowstorms blowing through up in the Red Deer area. If you looked at the AMA road report, it was all yellow, if not red, meaning really bad, dangerous conditions for us to drive if we didn't have to. So we kept putting it off. And finally, on the weekend of the 7th and 8th, the second to last weekend we could possibly use this coupon, we finally drove up, and on the Sunday was the day that we went skiing. And this time we actually got to the hill without any problems. There was no tow truck, no off-roads. Link in the description for my Vlogmas if you want to go far enough and find that story time. So the first few runs of the day on the hill were really good. We started off with a black run. It's not full black, it's a small bit of black into a blue. I'd done both of those runs back in December, so I was totally confident in my abilities. And later we even went on a run that ended up being a full black. And that was accidental. Everyone legit thought that it was blue. We read the map, my cousins know from experience, we all legit thought that it was a blue run, but turns out I had done my first ever full black, which I was really proud about. But then, it wasn't long after that, the tragedy struck. So here, I have a map. I've pulled up my iPad. I've pulled up on my iPad of Canyon Resort. And this line right here down the middle, I'm not sure why you can see this. This line down the very middle of the map, that's the main chair, the triple cedar chair. And what we had done is we'd gone up it and then traversed over the necessary ways so that we could take the double chair. That black we all thought was blue was us going down to the base of the double chair, which is this line over here on the, in my case, left. So we traversed across the top, taken the black, and gotten to the base of the double chair. We did a couple of runs over on that double chair, and then as we were trying to come back to the triple chair, back to the main area of the hill, we said that we were going to ski Powderhorn down. Powderhorn being this main big blue. Can you see that line next to the chair? Right there where I'm pointing, that's Powderhorn, the main run of the hill. But what happened is that I took a wrong turn, and instead of going down Powderhorn, I ended up inside of some moguls. I ended up inside of some jumps. But the thing is, they were extra steep jumps, at least at the beginning, because there's also the start of a race course. And when this happens, I am skiing alone. I'm the slowest member of the group, so we all agreed that if they're going ahead and race me at the bottom, that's totally fine. As long as I know which hill to take down, it's all going to work out in the end. But not this time. So I'm going down these super steep mogly jump things, and I start getting more and more speed, faster and faster, until I can't control it and I fall down. Both of my skis go flying off my boots. I lose both of my poles. My glasses go flying as well. And this whole time that I'm falling, I'm screaming. It's not that I'm in pain. I later learned that I am in pain. But at this moment, I was just thinking, I'm alone. My brother's not here. My cousins aren't here. Maybe a stranger will come and help me. If I'm screaming, they'll hear me. Which this one man does, this really kind young man, who comes over and he helps me. He brings me back my glasses, my poles, my skis. He assesses that I'm not concussed because he has the medical ability to know concussed versus not concussed. And he says I'm not, which is good. And he's asking me a lot of questions about about my pain and how I feel. And the biggest pain that I feel is in my left wrist and in my abdomen area. It hurts whenever I'm not sitting down. It really hurts. Like I can't be standing up. It's too painful. So eventually, my cousins and brother do show up. They wait at the bottom for a very long time, and they must have assumed something was wrong because they decided to go back up the chair. And Sadie happens to notice me from the chairlift. She's like, "That's her coat. That's her lying down." So they ski over to where I am, and I fill them in on the status as far as I understand. And now that I'm not alone, that man feels free to be able to go off and continue skiing on his way. Also at this point, we have contacted medical, my first ever ski medvac, to come and get me because I don't feel comfortable using the pole and my left hand hurts the way that it does, and I physically can't ski regardless of poles because my abdomen, I cannot be standing. So the cousins wait with me, and eventually the medic team shows up. These two guys, I forget the names, but anyway, it's relevant to the story. The two guys show up. They're asking me some basic questions, and I'm repeating the story as the same way I told to the guy and to the cousins. And then they load me up into the stretcher. And then they ski the stretcher down the hill into the medic area. And they load me off the stretcher into a wheelchair so that they can be able to get me into one of the cots that the medic area has. It gets too painful for me to walk with my abdomen at this point. So they wheelchair me into a cot in the medic area. And also I'm back to being alone, not counting the medic guys. My cousins have gone skied down and they're somewhere in lodge at this point. The guys check me out, again proving that I'm not concussed, and by looking at my wrist they say it's just a sprain or something like that. I don't remember the exact words, but they didn't think it was all that serious. So they gave me some ice and they gave me this bandage. I was like making a sling, and I'll insert my picture that I took in lodge. Not very flattering, but I'll put it there anyway. And once I've been fully checked out, I get to use the special staff elevator to go into lodge at the main restaurant sitting area of lodge. And that is where I find the rest of my family. They've come in for lunch. The medic leaves me and I join them. One of the cousins pulls out her phone. They call her dad, who relays the story to my mom, and both of them show up to take me away from the hill. I'm not going to be skiing for the rest of the day. I can't. So what's the point of me sitting in lodge? I can instead sit at my grandparents' house and enjoy myself. I ended up watching Incredibles 2 on Netflix that day. My dad uses his Pro Eagle Boy Scout skills to give me a better ice sling. So insert that photo. So the day proceeds. I watch the movie like I said. We have some tacos for dinner and then we drive back to Calgary. When it comes in terms of me going to bed, we ended up getting some towels and one of my stuffies, and I'm using a prop so I could have my wrist elevated while I slept. And then we would see how it felt in the morning. And how it felt was really painful. So, because this was before COVID accelerated, nothing was quite as shut down, we called our family doctor and booked an appointment for me and my mom to go in and see her about this. And everything is really hurting, so I have my arm up like this with the sling. and I had to get help doing things I usually can do, I couldn't do by myself. Like for the longest time, I couldn't grate cheese. I had to get help when I was like cooking food. And also, it was really, really hard to get dressed. So whatever clothes I had on from the previous day, from the previous night when I managed very painfully to change one item, I just kept that on and went with it. So we go to the doctor. First she like prods me all over my abdomen area. Like I said, that was hurting. But I don't feel any pain when that happens. So probably just an internal bruise or something. If the bruise on my leg is an indication, insert picture, then it's some pretty serious damage going on inside. Then, when it comes to my wrist, she suggests that we go and get an x-ray, so she sends a requisition to the clinic closest to her office. We go to that clinic, and they're on a lunch break. So we go to Tim Hortons. I had my first ever tea latte, or whatever the exact name was. It was like whipped foamy cream and berry tea, and it was very good. But anyway, we go to Tim Hortons for a few minutes, and then once the lunch break is passed, we go back to the x-ray clinic and take the x-ray. Those results they will send to Koyman, and once she has the results, she will phone us and let us know what the case is. So we take the x-ray, we go back home, and a few hours later, we receive the phone call saying, "Oh yeah, your wrist is broken." Okay, actually, it was not broken, it's just fractured. I'm over-exaggerating, but for those of you who know medical terms, it was the ulnar styloid fracture. But anyway, my wrist was fractured, and we had to go into the clinic to get it casted. And due to what time it is in the day, also what day of the week it is, I have to miss my ranger meeting to go and get this cast. I painfully changed into my shirt, and then psych, I didn't need it at all. And by the way, this was the last ranger meeting we had in person, because after that, that's when COVID went crazy and everything shut down. That was the last in-person ranger meeting, and I missed it to get my cast. So we go to the clinic and do all the things that's necessary at the front, and wait our turn, and get sent to the back, and blah blah blah. They tell me that I have two choices for my cast. I can get a hard cast, or I can get a Velcro cast. By the way, I realized I forgot, so insert now, picture of the x-ray. They tell me I have two cast choices. And because the fracture is such a minor fracture, we decide to go with the Velcro option. That way I can take it on and off for showering or whatever. And considering COVID escalated, it's really glad that I did, because this way I can just take it off myself at the end of the 6-week period, as opposed to needing to go in and get it sawed off with the machine. This is what my cast looks like when it's closed. When you put it on, your thumb would poke out through here, and the rest of your fingers would poke out through there. And then it just sits on your wrist like that. I didn't wear my watch for those 6 weeks, and my medic bracelet was moved onto this wrist. And we took the cast, and we went back home. Here's a photo of me wearing cast on the first day. Also, you know how I said that was the last random meeting we had in person? Well, it wasn't the last guide meeting we had in person, because on Tuesday, I was able to go to the Spark meeting that I'm a leader for, and that meeting at the fire hall, we had a shortened meeting with a tour. That meeting was borderline torture because my abdomen was really painful and I could not stand that half an hour. Oh my god, I could not stand it, because for the majority of those first 2 weeks with my cast, my abdomen could not handle standing. I had to remove doing all of my walks, and my abdomen could not handle lying down. Like to sleep and then I turn sides was awful. I gave it like 3 or 4 nights before I couldn't take it any longer, and I ended up getting the 2 big pillows we have on our couch and propping them up, so I was like somewhat lying down, but mostly I was sitting, and then I slept like that for quite a while until my abdomen healed up and I could A, go on my walks again, and B, sleep normally again. And that's how my life was. We proceeded wearing the cast, and of course I was showering for 2 weeks. The abdomen's pretty much healed, but we're still concerned about the wrist. So as it's been the 2-week midpoint period, I called back the doctor, and she's not available. She's gone away for a 2-week period. So I call the walk-in clinic that's close to our house, and they booked me for a phone consultation. After having that consultation, they send me to get an x-ray in the clinic near our house. So when we go in and get that x-ray, it's the same procedure as it was the previous time, just a lot more wiping down of stuff because COVID has started to ramp up in that period of time, like I said. So I go, I get my x-ray, the results get sent back, and they say, keep wearing your cast. You're healing on track, everything's going according to plan, but keep wearing it for another 3-4 weeks until you've reached 6 total. And this x-ray I don't have. I have no copy of this one. It was just the first one I have a copy of. But anyway, I did what they said, and I kept wearing my cast for a few more weeks until I'd made it to 6. Occasionally I take it off because I was hot and sweaty, or I was showering, or whatever, but mostly I just kept it on. Then, when the 6 weeks come, I call my doctor, and they're only doing phone consults. So I'm like, okay, I'll have a phone consult. And she says that I need to be booked for an x-ray. So I'm like, okay, I'll take an x-ray. But the clinic by our house has apparently closed down. When I get the call from them saying they've received my requisition, only the first lawn clinic is left open, which is nowhere close to my house. That's like up in the north. I don't know exactly, but the point is it's not close to my house. So, after a long discussion with my parents and one more phone call back, we just decide not to go to the x-ray. A, distance. B, the escalation of COVID. C, how my wrist has been healing so far. And D, my parents' general life knowledge. My dad has broken a lot of bones in his life. So, we decided not to go get that x-ray, and I'm just going to straight up take my cast off and proceed to go about my daily life with the cast off. I will be adding in here and there some small physio exercises. We found a list of them online I need to be doing to try and bring back the strength. But overall, my cast came off and stays off. Overall, I think that I was lucky that I got the break that I did, because A, it was really, really small, and B, it was my non-dominant hand. I could still use my right one to eat or to write. I couldn't type things, like with the cast. That was painful and hard. It was a struggle to get those essays done for the scholarship. But anyway, I could still use my main right hand with the computer mouse and whatever, so that was good. I think the worst part of it all was my abdomen. I couldn't stand. I cut out my walks for a few weeks, and I couldn't lie down, whether to sleep or to do any activities. There's not much else to say to this story. I think I fairly well condensed the saga of me fracturing my wrist, so that's going to end the video. If you liked my story, please drop a big one down below. Subscribe if you're new so you don't miss any of my future content. Comment down below if you've broken a bone. I'd like to read your stories. Follow me on all of my social medias. And aloha till next time. Hopefully I don't have another bone story for you.